Hello and welcome to my new favorite American vehicle in Gran Turismo 7. This is the Corvette C6 ZR1. Now this car, for what it is absolutely incredible, and I might actually say I would pick this over the C8. Now let me explain to you why I think this car is absolutely amazing. Now firstly, I think it has to be the affordability. The car standard only costs 120,000 credits. Now this is actually 35,000 more than the C8 Corvette. So everyone might come into Brand Central, look at the C8 and think, why would I spend more money on an older Corvette? Well, for your 35,000 credits you receive 200 more brake horsepower, in my opinion better looks, and also a lighter body, which means this car has better performance than the C8 Corvette. And to just confirm this, we have to take the car out on track. So the thing that actually really caught me off guard was that this car actually has quite a lot of understeer. Now I would have thought 600 horsepower going to the rear wheels, this thing is gonna light up the rear tires and I'm gonna really struggle to keep it in a straight line. So when it comes to corners, I was ready to fight the rear end. However, I didn't actually have to because the front end just had a mind of its own. It really didn't want to turn. Now driving a vehicle with no traction control is a lot of fun, but what was surprising is I'm able to carry a lot of speed going through the corners. Now as I said, understeer was very dominant. There was more understeer than oversteer, which I really didn't expect from a 600 horsepower Corvette. So after battling with the understeer, we really were able to make it around the circuit in a decent amount of time. So if you can manage to handle and overcome the oversteer, you have a very fast car even with the vehicle stock. Now something that I can appreciate is how good the car's braking system is. When you slam on the brakes, the car really comes to a halt, and this is really something that a lot of cars actually struggle with. Yes, they can carry a lot of power and produce thousands of horsepower, but when it comes to slowing down, they cannot stop at all. So with the Corvette being able to slow down, I had very high hopes to see when we actually upgrade the braking system. Since we are already on the topic of upgrading, let us look at the upgrades that we can do to the Corvette. So as I said, we're starting with 639 brake horsepower and a weight of just over 1,500 kgs. And after spending quite a lot of money, we are talking about around 200,000 credits. This is basically the baseline for upgrading cars in Gran Turismo 7. Some cars may cost more, some cars may cost less, but that is usually how much you spend when it comes to upgrading in Gran Turismo 7. But I mean, with that 200,000 you really transform your vehicle. For example, with this Corvette we took that 600 horsepower and took it all the way up to 946 brake horsepower, where we brought the weight down by almost 400 kgs. So now this ultra light, ultra powerful Corvette ZR1 is going to be a strong force to be reckoned with. But before we can see that, we need to add some few more touches. Now I went over to Showcase to see for any good liveries, and look, there are really good liveries out there for your specific type of look you're going for, whether it's race car or if you're just looking for like a drift style or anything. Someone has probably made a design and they are all really good. However, nothing was really grabbing my eye for the type of build I was wanting to go. So you know what, I thought let's just keep it clean and let's just do a quick design for our own. And by quick design, I mean we're just gonna slap on some wheels, and I put on some TE37s because I thought, why not? Then finally I decided, you know what, we need to put on some aero parts to just actually be useful and increase our downforce and make us better around the corners. So that's exactly what I went for. Just front splitter, side skirts, rear diffuser, and then lastly spoiler. No end plates because I just like the cleaner look. And it's not only about form but also function, because as you can see, the downforce has now been increased to 280 in the front and 380 in the rear. Now this is the setup that I used in the vehicle. So if you want to try it out for yourself, you can copy it down and just test out and see how the Corvette feels. Now back out on circuit, the minute you get behind the wheel of the vehicle, you can feel that the performance is absolutely different. There's so much that has changed compared to the acceleration, to the handling, because with the car's suspension being tuned correctly, there is no more understeer. Well, there's a touch of understeer from time to time, but this car takes corners as if it's on rails. And genuinely, I feel like the Corvette ZR1 C6 handles better than the Corvette C8. I have a lot more confidence in the ZR1 to push it through corners because of the amounts of downforce, because the way this car and its grip level with no traction control on, you are almost able to take corners flat out. Now yes, if you do just go into corner and mash the throttle, the rear wheels will light up, but this car is insanely quick. Even coming over that hill, you know, if you come too quickly, the front end lifts up. This, it lifts up slightly and lands back on the ground, because this car is fully focused on getting you around the circuit as fast as possible, and I absolutely love it. I thought, okay, this car is going to be lighting up the rear wheels, it's going to be insanely hard to control, but that is not the case. The Corvette ZR1 is insanely fast. Because of having 900 horsepower and being lightweight, it's fast going towards a corner, going around the corner, coming out of the corner. Anything you throw at this vehicle, it can handle it, and it's just going to perform amazingly. The only problem is you do have to take corners that are tight a lot slower, and just be careful, because if you have no traction on, if you do mash that throttle, the rear wheels will light up and you will be fighting for some grip. However, if you just want to go fast through a corner, you can, because that's what the car is built for. The tune that I have in it is honestly perfect for the circuit, and I am in love with it. And I am so in love with it that I think it's capable of competing against some of the fastest street cars in Gran Turismo 7. So that's exactly what we did. We took it to the hypercar parade around Trial Mountain to just see, is it capable of absolutely demolishing the competition, and that is exactly what it does. So this is on the hardest difficulty. The Corvette makes honestly light work of the competition. Yes, still with no traction control on, still with the same tune that I showed you. The car is just so able to go around corners without much slippage and without much understeer, and that 900 horsepower really just sends it flying down the straightaway, doing over 300 kilometers per hour. Now I know there are faster American cars, however, there are not many American cars that can travel at such high speeds and still take corners the way this Corvette does. And that's honestly what really draws my attraction to this vehicle. I am not going to just use this car once and then not touch it again. This is a vehicle you can honestly just keep going back to because of how much of a blast it is to actually drive. And that's the whole point of a game like Gran Turismo 7. It's so that you find vehicles that you actually enjoy driving and you have a lot of fun in. And that is exactly what the Corvette C6 ZR1 gives me. So I could not be happier being behind the wheel of this car. So this is why the Corvette C6 ZR1 is one of my favorite American, I might even say my favorite American car in Gran Turismo 7. And if you want to see what my favorite engine swap car in Gran Turismo 7 is, watch this video on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.